You're listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Thursday the 18th of June, 2026. It is 90 days after the spring equinox. It is 3 days before the summer solstice. In today's episode, Robins in Conflict, the Battle of Waterloo, a deranged governor, civil disobedience, and a thought from Honest Abe. The sun rises today at 5:24 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 12:57 p.m. The sun sets today at 8:30 p.m. Civil twilight ends at 9:03 p.m. and nautical twilight ends at 9:46 p.m. The length of daytime today is 11 seconds longer than yesterday. The moon is in its waxing crescent phase and is 18% full at midday. The moon rises today at 9:18 a.m., and then it sets at 11:41 p.m. These are the predicted tides today for Horn's Hook. In the wee hours, high tide, 1:18 a.m., 1 meter 83. In the morning, low tide, 7:35 a.m., minus 3 centimeters. In the afternoon, high tide, 2:01 p.m., 1 meter 58. In the evening, low tide, 7:47 p.m., 18 centimeters. In our shared realm of plants and animals, in the park, 2 robins stand near each other in the grass, quite still but very alert. And then, of a sudden, they both leap into the air, and flapping their wings very quickly, circle each other in mid-air, jabbing their beaks at each other in a tight scrum. They never rise more than 3 feet off the ground, and suddenly they stop, returning to the grass, where they eye each other from a distance of about a yard. Then up they are again, back at it. They repeat this sequence about 4 times, when one finally breaks off the encounter and flies away. It's a territorial fight between 2 male robins, and it's fascinating how ritualized it is. Perhaps it's more of a spitting contest than an actual attempt to do physical harm, but one bird clearly emerged the victor. Commemorations. On this day in 1815, the Battle of Waterloo took place. Napoleon Bonaparte was finally defeated by combined forces of Britain and Prussia under the command of the Duke of Wellington and Field Marshal von Blücher. Napoleon, who had destroyed the French Republic, declared himself Emperor of the French, and spread war across Europe, would spend the rest of his days in exile on the remote island of St. Helena in the Atlantic. On this day in 1959, the governor of Louisiana, Earl K. Long, was involuntarily committed to a state mental hospital. He apparently had always been eccentric, but his behavior had deteriorated, and he had been calling people at all hours of the night, night after night. His frequent speeches to the legislature had veered into incoherence. His wife helped facilitate an intervention. However, when he arrived at the Southeast Louisiana State Hospital, he was still legally governor. So he fired the hospital director and replaced him with a loyalist who duly pronounced him sane and released him. Long would finish his 3rd term as governor, and he died of a heart attack the next year. On this day in 1964, in a planned action, a group of black and white protesters against segregation jumped into the whites-only pool at the Munson Motor Lodge in St. Augustine, Florida. The motel owner poured acid into the pool to try to force them out, but it wasn't a sufficient quantity to actually do them harm. The police arrested the freedom swimmers and took them to jail. But the press had been alerted and reported the motel owner's use of acid, shocking many in the public. The protest probably led directly to the passage of the 1964 Civil Rights Act the following day, when an 83-day filibuster in the U.S. Senate was finally broken. Remember those freedom swimmers today. In our preparations for the 4th of July, we offer you these words of Abraham Lincoln. He wrote, quote, "Those who deny freedom to others deserve it not for themselves." Unquote. He was speaking directly of slave owners, but his adage clearly has a wider application. In the World Cup, our 2 hosting partners have games today. Canada will face Qatar in Vancouver, while Mexico will face Korea in Guadalajara. And today, the Knicks will be honored with a ticker tape parade. It begins at 10 a.m. near the Battery and runs up the Canyon of Heroes, ending at City Hall. Mayor Mamdani will congratulate them on their victory and present them with keys to the city. Congratulations to the New York Knicks. And that is the Observatory, Thursday the 18th of June, 2026.